Yo, what is going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and today I wanted to do a commentary-like video talking about something that's been on my mind for a while in regards to Call of Duty and kind of the future of Call of Duty multiplayer specifically, not really campaign and zombies, because there are a couple things that I feel like are going to possibly ruin the future of Call of Duty multiplayer, and it's already starting to do that with the current Modern Warfare. Now, what I've noticed, the biggest problem with Call of Duty over the past couple years, in my opinion, has been trying to appeal to the casual or even just the shitty player base for Call of Duty. And I get why they do it. I understand that there's much more casuals compared to hardcore players, but it really does hurt the experience for us hardcore players when they do things that really caters to them, like trying to mess around the map design to allow them to have certain places where they can camp so they can get more kills, you know, skill-based matchmaking, the whole red dots in the minimap thing, kind of switching that system around. It's stuff that bothers me because I've been playing this game since 2006, right? I've been here for 14 years now. I've been able to master so many different skills in the multiplayer, and I could consider myself a pretty damn good Call of Duty player today. But then you got people who have never played before, are just coming in, and now they're getting the same amount of kills as me in any other lobby. You know why? Because they're playing easier people, and I feel like it's trying to even the player field. It's like communism, but in Call of Duty multiplayer. I hate it. Now, what I've noticed, the three most hated things to ever be added into a Call of Duty thing, at least in my eyes, these are the three most hated things, are all built for the same purpose. They are all there to cater to the casuals and to cater to the shittier players. Those three things are supply drops, specialists, and skill-based matchmaking. These three things have been added over the course of the past couple years in Call of Duty, and they've all been made to do that. Supply drops, even Michael Condrey said himself that supply drops were added so they can give players that good feeling even if they don't get a lot of kills. That's why supply drops were given, you know, randomly, like every couple 40 minutes or something like that. They were rewarded to you no matter what, no matter how good you did in that match, you were getting a supply drop, and it was random. So it wasn't giving you a better gun because you're a better player. No, it was giving you any gun because you just ran by randomly, right? So it's allowing even the shittier players to get these awesome weapons, while really good players might not get crap because it's all based on luck, which ended up being a system that kept going on for years and years and years on. Of course, they've, flunked with it a little bit, but of course, most of the community absolutely hated the idea of supply drops, and it was something that was made in order to help the casuals. Then we have specialists, which were only included in 3 Call of Duty games: Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, and Black Ops 4. These were literally free kills. Most of them, at least. Some of them were actually kind of interesting. They actually had a tactical usage to them, and you need to master how to use them. It couldn't just be anyone. But then you had some like Ruin, War Machine from Battery, a couple other ones that were just literally free kills, and that helps out the shitty players get those free kills. Now, I know it wasn't as big of a deal as like something like skill-based matchmaking, at least in my eyes, because you don't get them unlimited times. You get them like maybe once or twice in a game, and they could be pretty easy to avoid at some points. But for the most part, yes, they are free kills. They were built to help the casuals and the shitty players get better at the game. And then now we're talking about one of the biggest problems with Modern Warfare, and that is skill-based matchmaking, which hasn't just been a thing in Modern Warfare. They've had a little bits of skill-based matchmaking in other CODs, but it's been most prominent and most notable in Modern Warfare. Even in Warzone, it's been there, and it's causing a big issue for a lot of players, because a lot of players who used to be really good in COD are not that good this year, and myself included. I mean, I used to be able to hit 30 kill streaks every freaking game in past CODs, but I've yet to get a nuke in Modern Warfare, and honestly, I don't even want to try. You know why? Because every time I watch someone get a nuke, you know how they get the nuke? They get it by camping. They get it by camping because that's how this game is designed. I mean, yes, of course, you could get it rushing. It's possible, but it's not the best way to do it, you know what I mean? And I just don't like that play style. The maps, even in this game, were designed to help the shittier players. Time to kill is a big thing as well. I know a lot of people don't really realize this, but when the time to kill is slower, it actually allows for these more skilled players to be better, because it's rather you getting shot in the back and dying right away because it's a fast time to kill, you actually have a chance to fight back. And if you're a good player, you could survive that gunfight and outlive them. And it also rewards better accuracy in gunfights and your movement and the ability of you to be able to get out of situations like that. When it's a really fast time to kill, one of the reasons I really don't like hardcore, you can get shot from behind just randomly because some guy just spawned behind you, and there's no way you're fighting back for that. That does not show off who's better at the game. That literally shows off who got a shot off first. You know what I mean? That doesn't prove shit. So, that's why I'm always been a fan of the slower time to kill, and I actually kind of liked Black Ops 4's slower time to kill. These problems that are in the games, I really don't think the developers are the ones who come up with these things. I really don't, because I really refuse to believe that they would want to help out casuals this much. And I'm not saying we should just leave them by the wayside and tell casuals to go screw themselves and they're shitty at the game, they should stay shitty at the game. Of course not. There's tons of ways they can do it without hurting the experience of the hardcore fan base. And they've done stuff like this in the past. Have a bootcamp game mode, right? If you've played the game for less than 20 hours, maybe, I guess would be a good number, then have a playlist available for you to help these players out. Now, if you're still shitty after playing the game for 24 hours, I'm sorry, but the game should not just spoon feed you, kills, right? It should not. You should get better on your own. I had to do that myself. I've been playing COD, like I said, back 2006. I've been playing Modern Warfare 2 days, Black Ops 1 days. I had to get better on my own. I couldn't expect skill-based matchmaking lobbies to help me out. No, I was getting trashed on in those days. It took me a couple years until Modern Warfare 3 to actually become a decent Call of Duty player, to actually be able to get decent kill streaks. Before, I was just getting destroyed, and I was okay with that. I was still having a good time because, to be fair, we were all younger at the point. It was whatever, but I do get that these games aren't as fun if you're not as good at them. That's just the nature of video games, right? You want to play games that you're good at, and that's why they're trying to cater to the casuals, because they want players to be better at the game. They don't want everyone to be amazing, right? Because the hardcore fan base isn't doing as good as they usually do because of the reasons I've previously stated, of course, mainly skill-based matchmaking. But now the player base is so kind of even. They're on an even playing field for the most part, so no one's really doing complete ass. More so, everyone's just doing kind of decent, and that's great for the casuals because now they're actually having a fun time. And it's true. I've seen so many casuals love this game. Why do you think it's so popular? Why do you think a lot of people actually like it? And I know this is, this doesn't go for everyone, right? There are some really good players who do enjoy this game. That's a thing, right? But you go ask one of your friends, right? Like, for example, I have a lot of friends who haven't played COD in a long time, right? They just gave up on COD because they didn't like the futuristic movement, stuff like that, and they just weren't really that good at the game either, but they love Modern Warfare. They bought it, and they absolutely love this game. It's their favorite COD since, Modern Warfare 2. And I always ask them, oh, what's your KD? And they tell me, oh, it's like a 0.7, 0.6, and I'm like, oh, okay, there you go. That's why they're loving it so much. They don't have to deal with these crappy-ass lobbies. They're having decent kill games every now and then, and that's not what they're used to, because you go back to the old games, and they don't get in those easy lobbies. No, they have to be paired with players who are much, much better than them. And they don't like that. They're not having fun. They're just getting shit on. And this is so true because even some of my other friends, I'll play with them in Black Ops 4, right? Which some of my friends really don't like it, but I try to get them to get into it, right? They'll play one game. My friend will do kind of shitty. He'll be like, yo, this game's trash. The next game, we'll get into a pretty easier lobby. He'll eat up, get like a gunship or something, and he'll be like, yo, this game is actually kind of hype. It's just so funny how it works like that, and honestly, even for me, it kind of works like that a little bit. The Call of Duties I'm better at, I tend to enjoy more. That's, like I said, the human nature of gamers. We're gonna play games that we're better at. There's some games out there I'm just trash at, and I don't want to play because I'm just getting dicked on, right? But like I said, there's other ways to support the casual fan base, like a bootcamp game mode, that would help so much. Maybe have a couple other different game modes that are there for casuals. Do more fun stuff. Do more fun party modes so players can jump in those. Because party modes are fun no matter how good you are. Let's be real here. Infected is a hell of a fun mode. You don't have to be getting a million kills in that mode to still have a great time. That's just honestly how party modes are. have some more fun with the custom game modes, you know, have more options in custom matches so players can have some fun with their friends in custom matches and maybe get better from playing matches against their friends and stuff like that, you know. That's a good way to do it. Also, a ranked playlist. They don't have that in Modern Warfare. They have this other like CDL type mode, CWL type mode, but it's not an actual ranked playlist. And what a ranked playlist would do would pair them against players of their own skill level, but you could still go in public matches and play against randoms, right? Not some people who are only your skill level, which is not what I want to do. And it's not because I don't want to get trashed on. That has nothing to do with it. I just want to play a variety of games. I don't want every game to be against sweaty tryhards. I would like to have some variety. Yes, I would love to destroy noobs, and I don't know why that's a bad thing. I mean, people have been trying to do that for years now. Why do you think people always leave lobbies? They're like, oh, let's try to find a good lobby, and the good lobbies, the definition of a good lobby is a lobby against noobs. That's literally what it's been, and I don't know why people on Twitter seem to think like, oh, just because you hate skill-based matchmaking, you must want to just trash on noobs. I'm like, is that a bad thing? Do I not want to trash on noobs? I mean, isn't that kind of fun? Isn't that part of the fun in Call of Duty? And I know they don't get to experience that same thing, but guess what? They will. They will if they get better. And yes, they can get better. And they will get better if they're playing against better players. If they're playing against their own skill level, they're never gonna get better. They're just not. It's like introducing a NFL league, right? But the Patriots, they can't play the Browns, right? They can't. They can't touch each other because they're much better, right? They have to play their own skill level. So Browns are going to play the Bengals every other game. Patriots have to stick to the better players. Is that fair for the Patriots? Is that fair for the Browns? Not really. It's just making it evener playing field. It's communism, man. It's straight up communism. And I'm scared for the future of Call of Duty because I know it's not really an Infinity Ward thing. I guarantee you Activision is enforcing this, and I guarantee you they're going to enforce it into the next multiplayer in COD 2020. Hopefully not, it won't be as bad because I do think Treyarch will introduce their own map design, so we won't have the shittier map design in Modern Warfare, and I do think they won't do some of the mechanical changes like the mini-map. I'm hopeful, but something like skill-based matchmaking I think is here to stay. You know, we got specialists and supply drops removed, but those were getting more hate than not, and I feel like skill-based matchmaking isn't getting enough hate right now. And I think if it does, then we can get some real change done, possibly enough to help out. But since Modern Warfare is doing so damn well, I really just don't think we're gonna get that change. I do think they're gonna implement the same system in COD 2020, and I really don't want to see it. I'm really excited for campaign and zombies, though. I really don't think they'll do bad on that because, I mean, I've loved most of the campaigns. Even Modern Warfare's campaign was great. I even love Warzone, despite having skill-based matchmaking in it. Warzone's still fun enough to the point where I don't really mind the skill-based matchmaking aspects of it because Battle Royale's not all about getting a million kills and having a fun game, honestly. Like, you can get one kill and still have a really fun game. It's just the nature of how, you know, Battle Royales work. I can't play them solo, though. They're really boring solo. You gotta play with your buddies. But zombies as well, I'm excited for because you can't put skill-based matchmaking in zombies. It's just zombies, you know what I mean? Like, I'm excited for that. And yes, of course, I'm still excited for the multiplayer. I'm just more worried than anything else because I know that these problems will probably happen in the next game, and I'm gonna have a bit of an issue with it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.